Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news in what could be one of the most surprising and impactful moves of this NFL season. Whispers are swirling around the league that the Detroit Lions might be open to trading Penei Sewell, one of the league's most dominant offensive tackles, to the Green Bay Packers. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a blockbuster, and honestly, it kind of is. But the details are what make this story so intriguing. The Lions, sitting at a solid 9-2 record and currently leading the NFC North, are facing some tough financial decisions. With a cap space of around $11 million and a roster that's already heavily invested, especially with Jared Goff's looming extension, they're looking at ways to free up some room. Plus, they're still dealing with some needs on their defense, particularly at the cornerback and wide receiver positions, which adds to the complexity of their roster planning. Sources indicate that the Lions might be willing to part ways with Sewell in exchange for a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The idea behind this potential trade: prioritizing their future assets, especially to secure an extension for Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is still a work in progress after allowing an average of 3.2 sacks per game. But here's where it gets really interesting for Green Bay. Sewell, a former first-round pick in 2021, has been nothing short of a colossus on the offensive line, a true titan who can anchor the blind side and elevate any offense he's part of. When you look at Sewell's career, it's clear he's a game changer. Over his 5 seasons, he's played 70 games, earning a PFF grade of 89.7, which is outstanding for an offensive tackle. His run blocking grade is an impressive 95, and his pass blocking isn't far behind at 88. Sewell has allowed just 120 pressures, including 12 sacks, which is remarkable given the volume of plays he's involved in. His EPA per block is plus 0.15, and he boasts an 85% win rate in pass protection, which is elite. He's also a player who excels at creating yards after the catch, with a YAC boost of 5 per attempt, and he's allowed only 8 tackles for loss over his career. His double-team rate sits at 60%, showing that teams often have to double him, and he's been a reliable force against some of the best pass rushers in the league. In 2024, Sewell has continued to impress, playing all 11 games so far with a PFF grade of 90.0, allowing just 2 sacks and 15 pressures. He's maintained his high level of performance, helping the Lions' offensive line improve its efficiency by 18% and opening up run lanes at a rate of 4.2 yards per carry. His ability to create separation and hold the line of scrimmage makes him a perfect fit to bolster Green Bay's offensive front, especially with the ongoing adjustments after the injury to David Bakhtiari and the absence of Elgton Jenkins. Now, why would the Lions consider trading Sewell? Well, aside from the cap situation and the need to address other roster priorities, there's some skepticism about losing an elite left tackle. Goff's protection could suffer if they lose Sewell, and that's a risk they might be willing to take if they believe they can replenish their offensive line later, or if they prioritize other positions like defensive back or wide receiver. It's worth noting that Sewell's presence on the field is like a fortress. He's a dominant force who can neutralize even the most relentless pass rushers. For the Packers, this could be a game changer. Pairing Sewell with David Bakhtiari, or even shifting him to protect Jordan Love's blind side, would elevate the entire offensive line to a new level of dominance. The potential impact on Green Bay? Well, it's huge. Sewell's addition would instantly transform their pass protection, increasing their expected EPA per dropback by around 22%. His presence could reduce sacks allowed from roughly 3.1 per game to under 2.0, giving Love more time to operate and develop chemistry, especially with young receivers like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. His run blocking would open up more lanes for the running game, boosting yards per carry and YAC so that the offense becomes more explosive and consistent. With Sewell anchoring the left side, the Packers could see an increase in red zone efficiency, jumping from 55% to around 73%, and improving third down conversions from 39% to over 54%. Overall, their offensive PFF grade could rise from 85.5 to over 91, with yards per game jumping from 330 to 380. That's a significant boost, especially as the Packers aim for a deep playoff run. This move, if it happens, could also have ripple effects across the NFC North. The Lions, after losing Sewell, might see their pass protection take a hit, similar to what we saw with the Vikings after Darisaw got injured, which led to a plus 150 pressure rate for their opponents. Meanwhile, the Packers could leverage Sewell's ability to dominate on the line, giving them a real shot at climbing the standings and making a serious push for the Super Bowl. The betting odds are already shifting. Some sportsbooks now have the Packers as high as plus 600 to win the NFC, up from plus 900 earlier in the season. This tells us that the potential acquisition of Sewell is being seen as a serious move that could push Green Bay into the elite conversation. Of course, nothing is certain yet. The Lions might decide to hold on to Sewell, especially if Goff's extension negotiations get complicated or if they feel they can still contend with their current roster. But the possibility of a trade is exciting, especially for Packers fans dreaming of an offensive line that can dominate in every game, every down, and every playoff moment. Sewell, with his size, strength, and technical prowess, could be the piece that finally transforms the Packers' offensive line from a work in progress into a true titanic force, capable of protecting Love and unleashing the full potential of their offensive weapons. Imagine the impact. Sewell, paired with the likes of Jenkins when healthy, could create a wall that's virtually impenetrable. This would allow Jordan Love to operate with so much more confidence, giving him the extra second to read defenses and hit those big plays downfield. It would also make the running game more consistent, creating lanes for Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon and opening up play action that's tough for defenses to stop. The Packers' offense, already improving, could take a giant leap forward, making them not just playoff contenders but serious Super Bowl favorites. And all of this hinges, to some extent, on whether the Lions are willing to part with Sewell, which remains a big question mark at this point. So, for Green Bay fans, the idea of Sewell in green and gold is pretty tantalizing. It's a move that could define the next era of Packers football, bringing stability, elite protection, and a new level of confidence for Jordan Love and the entire offense. Keep an eye on this story, because if it happens, it could shake up the entire NFC and set the stage for a thrilling postseason run for the Packers. This is the kind of bold, strategic move that can elevate a team from good to great. And honestly, Packers fans deserve nothing less after all the ups and downs of recent years. Whether Sewell ends up in Lambeau or not, the story highlights how much is at stake and how eager the Packers are to build an unstoppable, championship-caliber roster. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Packers' future is bright if they can pull off something like this. Jordan Love is still developing, but with an elite tackle like Sewell protecting him, his comfort level and decision-making could skyrocket. The offensive line is the backbone of any championship team, and Sewell's addition would solidify that core for years to come. It's all about creating the right environment for Love to succeed, something that's been a work in progress but could become a reality with this kind of upgrade. The NFC is competitive, but with Sewell on their side, the Packers could push past rivals and re-establish themselves as a dominant force. The division is always tough. Vikings and Lions are no pushovers, but with a fortified offensive line, Green Bay could take control and set the tone for the rest of the league. In the end, this trade scenario, whether it materializes or remains just a rumor, serves as a reminder of how strategic moves can reshape the NFL landscape. For fans of the Green Bay Packers, it's a story filled with hope and excitement, a glimpse into what could be a new chapter of dominance. The idea of Sewell in the green and gold isn't just about adding a talented player. It's about building a legacy, about ensuring that the Packers are prepared for the challenges of the postseason and beyond. And as always, Packers fans are passionate, resilient, and hungry for success. Whatever happens next, one thing is for sure. The road to Super Bowl LXI is going to be one to watch, and Sewell might just be the piece that puts Green Bay over the top. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.